The crypto world is no stranger to speculation, wild predictions, and viral theories. But what we're about to unpack today isn't just another moonshot dream. It's a tidal wave of whispers, leaks, market data, and institutional behavior that all point to one of the biggest financial shifts we've seen in decades. The story XRP, yes, the same XRP that's been in legal battles, delisted, and dismissed, is now at the center of what could be a global economic reset. At the heart of this theory lies a shocking revelation. XRP is being secretly backed by gold. And if the rumors are true, this peg could propel the price of XRP to $3,000, or even more, within the next 90 days. Sounds outrageous, right? But once we walk through the evidence step by step, you'll realize this might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. Let's begin with the source of the firestorm leaked documents from a BRICS financial summit that reportedly included discussions about a hybrid sovereign digital unit backed by hard assets. Within those transcripts, which have circulated among a select few crypto researchers and journalists, XRP was named as a potential token to facilitate international settlements. A key line from the document quoted a Russian delegate saying, "A neutral cross-border asset backed by sovereign gold reserves, such as XRP, could stabilize global trade against dollar volatility. This alone would be enough to raise eyebrows. But when paired with the current global movement away from the dollar and toward de-dollarization, this plan becomes not only plausible, but timely." The BRICS nations are openly strategizing ways to escape dollar dominance, and XRP, with its lightning-fast transaction speed and institutional-grade framework, fits the bill perfectly. Music now add to that, the rumors swirling around the Bank of England insiders have reported that the BOE has been quietly running simulations involving Ripple's technology to process gold-backed transactions across borders. While this has yet to be confirmed publicly, it wouldn't be out of character. The BOE has long been one of the more forward-thinking central banks when it comes to digital currency innovation. And Ripple has previously disclosed partnerships and dialogues with the BOE regarding real-time gross settlement systems. If Ripple's on-demand liquidity solution is being tested with gold, as some insiders are claiming, then we could be looking at a complete revolution in how value is transferred between nations. Music, the mystery deepens, with a cryptic tweet from Ripple CTO David Schwartz, who wrote, "When metal meets digital, the world changes forever." No explanation, no follow-up, just that Schwartz is known for carefully crafting his public statements, often embedding hidden meanings that later proved to be prophetic. The XRP community went into immediate overdrive, analyzing every word. Some believe he's hinting at the fusion of gold and blockchain, something Ripple may already be helping central banks implement in this new architecture. XRP wouldn't just be a token, it would become a financial instrument backed by real-world value, effectively merging the reliability of precious metals with the speed and reach of digital assets. Music. So how does this lead us to a 3,000 XRP? Let's run the math. If 1 XRP were pegged to a gram of gold, and the price of gold is around $100 per gram, that immediately places XRP at a 3-digit valuation. But that's just the floor. If scarcity, network utility, and global reserve adoption are added into the mix, the multiplier effect could push the price toward $1,000. And beyond, some insiders suggest a 1 to 1,000 peg between XRP and an ounce of gold, meaning that as gold climbs, especially in a fiat crisis scenario, XRP's valuation would rise with it. If gold hits $3,000 per ounce, and XRP is used as a proxy or bridge for gold settlements, then 3,000 XRP doesn't sound like a meme. It sounds like a calculated model. Now let's talk about who's buying. Blockchain analytics have picked up a surge in large XRP transfers, originating from wallets connected to institutions, not exchanges. These aren't retail traders. These are what some call silent whales. There's mounting speculation that central banks, or at least sovereign-linked institutions, are quietly accumulating XRP through custodial wallets. They're not broadcasting it, they're not buying it on Coinbase or Binance, they're acquiring it over the counter and parking it in cold wallets. If you follow whale behavior, you'll know this kind of accumulation rarely happens without a catalyst. Something is coming, and they want to be positioned before it becomes public. We also can't ignore Ripple's behavior. The company recently moved over 200 million XRP, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, to unidentified wallets. Ripple's known strategy of unlocking and relocking escrowed XRP suggests long-term planning, not random selling. Some analysts believe Ripple is preparing for institutional demands that could be tied to ETF listings or even sovereign usage. These moves aren't speculative. They're calculated and methodical, often timed just before market-moving announcements. And while XRP price remains modest today, we're seeing volume shifts that don't align with price action. That's typically a sign that large buyers are stepping in without triggering the public radar. It's like a pot beginning to boil quiet at first, but inevitable once heat keeps rising. Analysts who were once skeptical are now paying close attention. Jake Claver, managing director of Digital Ascension Group, has publicly stated that a 10,000 XRP isn't fantasy. It's structural, according to him, in order for the XRP ledger to support multi-trillion-dollar transaction flows across global institutions. The price of XRP must be high enough to reduce friction limit liquidity demands and allow scalability. It's not about getting rich, it's about function. Ripple's own patent filings support this. One of them actually describes something called a slippage balance that ensures predictable value transfer even when market prices fluctuate. This is super important in cross-border settlements, where volatility can, really destroy trust. Ripple's technology seems purpose-built for a system where value, real stable value, is at the core, whether that's pegged to gold, SDRs, or maybe a basket of commodities. XRP seems positioned as the bridge asset. Let's not forget the broader macro picture here. The International Monetary Fund Bank for international settlements and World Bank have all published research into tokenized cross-border systems. Nations like China and Russia are already backing parts of their digital currencies with commodities. Honestly, we're entering a world where paper money is just no longer the default. And as that trust erodes, assets like XRP that offer transparency, speed, and now possibly gold backing are moving to the front of the line, and the community knows it. Social media is exploding with speculation. Popular XRP accounts are tracking wallet activity, Ripple's job listings, and even Ripple's partnerships with tokenization platforms. Even skeptics are starting to hedge. Some former critics are now quietly acquiring XRP, calling it a bet you can't afford not to make. So what happens next? If ETF announcements align with central bank integration and real-world gold backing emerges even partially, we could see XRP revalued overnight. Not from hype, from mechanics, from necessity. It won't be retail traders driving that shift. It'll be institutions central banks don't tweak. They act, and they act in advance. In conclusion, while the idea of a 3,000 XRP may sound like fantasy, we've shown today that every element of that prediction has roots in real-world data, leaked institutional plans, and blockchain evidence. The gold backing might not be confirmed yet, but all signs suggest we're heading toward a new financial structure, where XRP is no longer just a tool. It's an anchor. If you found this information insightful, now is the time to prepare, not react. Stay ahead of the mainstream headlines. Subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment below. What do you think? Will XRP be gold-backed? Are central banks really buying? And do you believe 3,000 XRP is actually on the table? Let's get the conversation going, because by the time the rest of the world figures it out, it might already be too late. Disclaimer: this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Please do your own research and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.